Hi there folks, I'm Arran Topalian and welcome back to another episode of Game Design Live. For any newcomers, GDL offers you live interactive design deconstructions of a video game as it's played by a game designer, where we ask questions about a game's design and chat about the potential rationale, pros and cons behind its various design decisions. So if you're into game design in general or into a certain game and want to understand it better on a design level, this is the place to be. And tonight we're going to be playing Psychonauts 2. It's a completely blind playthrough, which is what I've called a Let's Deconstruct. So I've never played Psychonauts 2. I haven't even played Psychonauts 1, which I know is awful. It's up there with sort of Monkey Island is sort of like one of those classics, right? Well, everyone else was playing Psychonauts. I was playing Ape Escape and Tomb Raider. So I guess I just got busy. So I'm not quite sure what's in store for me, but we're going to play it and we're going to call out cool design things along the way. Let's see what happens. Brains in jars. Setting the tone. Maybe turn down the volume a little bit. Sorry guys. Maybe like 60 odd? We'll try that and see how that works. We'll check this. Max frame rate. Oh, we can do 120. Motion blur. Cool. Great. And I know it's going to be divisive, but I need to invert this camera. I'm one of those weird, horrible people that inverts their camera. I know. You can all hate me quietly. Okay. New game. It was quite interesting to see what kind of accessibility options they had, actually, while we were at it. We can check that.
3 days ago, Truman Zanotto, the grand head of the Psychonauts, was kidnapped. Yesterday, with my help, the Psychonauts rescued Truman from the underwater lair of Dr. Lobato. But trust me, there's no way Lobato is working alone. Today, we're on a mission. Find out who hired Dr. Lobato to kidnap Truman Zanotto. My name?
Are their names meant to rhyme?
And
Is that a
today
rap?
is my first official day on the job.
This is clearly before working from home kicked in. Like the little brains on the device there on the left. That's funny.
Here, Raz?
Oh, hey Lily. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I've dreamed about working at Psychonauts headquarters all my life. I just thought it would be more, you know?
Come on, we're going to be late for the morale corral.
Love a good morale corral. Apparently the story is meant to be exceptional, so I'm really looking forward to kind of playing this through with you, and we'll see where it takes us and how it takes us there. That sounded corny. I regret it already.
That's right. Thank you.
And that brings us to our next topic.
Sasha, still have the talking turtle?
Maury.
Sorry, I just like the clapping.
It's now time to give out the award for
Already my
Employee
favorite
of the
character.
Year. The prize for this year's award is an all-expenses-paid tropical vacation.
Ooh.
Oh, I hope it's me.
The winner of this award may be one of our newest members, but he's also one of our most improved. Congratulations to Caligosto Loboto.
What?
Way to go,
Jeez.
Cal. You're gonna love this vacation package. I'm jealous.
It's got a real kind of Nightmare Before Christmas vibe to it.
I've been on a vacation. I don't have to go on a boat, do I?
No, darling.
Woo!
All you need to do is get this vacation request approved by your supervisor.
What?
Just a formality. You just need to get this form signed by your boss.
My boss?
Yes, darling. Or you could just tell us who your boss is and we could...
No. Maybe he doesn't want this tropical vacation after all. Get back! I want it! I'm Employee of the Year!
Yes, you are, darling. Now off you go. Get
This
that
is the
form
most
signed
bizarre
by your
setup to a
boss.
game I've ever seen.
Hired you.
I love it.
The person you work for.
Okay.
Hurry up! Before I take that vacation myself.
Do
Rasputin,
we get the vacation somehow? Oh, no.
Keep up with him, Raz, and he'll lead you straight to his
Cool.
boss.
Okay, so a little bit of story, and now we're playing. Can I run? Nope, I can just saunter. I can saunter casually around the office.
You guys
And I
stay
can talk to
here.
people.
I'm on it.
I am a typical Psychonauts employee.
Huh? Okay.
Quite a nice little button prompt there, just so you're not confused as to how to do that. Can everyone be talked
You
to?
guys stay here.
If I say...
I'm on it.
I am a typical Psychonauts employee.
Huh? Okay.
Okay, so it says the same thing every time, and there's no kind of indicator to tell me I've talked to them before,
Do you
but
know where
maybe
the
that's fine.
boss's office is?
My boss is tough but fair.
Well, good for you, I guess.
Oh, you can turn the camera as well when
Do
you're
you know
talking
where the
to
boss's
NPCs.
office is?
My boss
I think.
is tough
Oh, I could.
but fair.
And now I can't.
Good for you, I guess.
Oh, okay, only when the conversation's over. Quite like when you turn the camera when talking to NPCs in games, you can sort of like... Assassin's Creed Valhalla allows you to do it. You get to sort of set your own shots. Makes you feel like a bit of a director.
Helper.
Time for the morale corral.
Right.
Okay, I think we've talked to these people long enough. Busting out.
we'll try to head
Watch
him
out. I'm coming
careful,
real
darling.
slow.
Stay
This
close
is my
to
best
him,
bud.
Raz.
But don't freak him out.
Remember to act casual.
I am acting
Alright,
casual.
casual.
What's that?
I said I love Casual Friday. Am I right? Attention.
Oh no, okay. Oh.
Is loose.
Don't lose him, Raz.
So, apparently there's UI that appears in the center left of the screen, which is exactly where my Twitch feed is, which is just
I think he
great.
suspects something. He's taking countermeasures.
Just remember
It's
your
okay.
basic rating, soldier.
Right.
Press X to punch these boxes.
You.
Oh, cool. Okay. Oh, so we've got combat then. Oh, it feels really responsive. I'm trying to think of a reference. Nice as well. You've got a little bit of extra range, so you don't have to get right up close to an enemy, which gives you a little bit of mastery. Like, it's very clear how far your attack strikes are going, like what the range of your melee is. Very cool. Okay. I like it. Oh yeah, cool. And I can also like break other stuff. Some stuff. Which is nice. Makes the world feel a bit more sort of like interactive. But these... Oh, I can break them. Cool.
You are following
Yeah.
me. This was all a trick.
I'm not Employee of the Year.
I'm the greatest dentist of our century.
Jeez, imagine if he was your
All
dentist.
agents, the tooth has gone bad. Repeat, the tooth has gone bad.
Maintain pursuit, Rasputin.
We are in position to intercept.
Roger.
Oh, I'm running. Nice. It feels... It's hard to describe how it feels. Quite similar to Omno. We did an episode on Omno and GDL, I think a couple of weeks ago. So gravity has a fair amount of hold on you, but your jump feels quite strong. So you're able to fight against it, but it pulls you back down quite quickly. Can I double jump? Yep. Okay, so we got a double jump and punching so far.
Looking for
Can I sprint?
Well,
No, I
come
cannot
and
sprint.
get me. Why are you taking so long?
Oh, dude, if I could... Whoa! If I could sprint, man.
I don't think you understand the gravity of the situation
Oh.
you're in.
Watch out!
Okay. Oh, cool. Okay.
You're not
So you can
supposed to walk
mantle
that way.
ledges. That's handy. And wall jumping. Okay, so there's quite a few mechanics here to offer some decent combat. Well, I can hit stuff. I don't know about combat, but I can definitely hit stuff. But platforming-wise, there's quite a few mechanics.
This way. Quick.
What's also quite nice is the strength of the button press you do influences the strength of your jump. So it's what you call like a Mario jump. Game Maker's Toolkit does an amazing video on versatile verbs, which is definitely worth checking out, and the importance and sort of utilities of versatile verbs. But Mario's jump is a good example of that. So it's a jump that allows for lots of different things
Hurry.
for the player to do rather than just a binary jump.
Now, before the procedure, it's very important that we clean out your dentist hat. You don't want any dirty. Go away!
What? And B. Cool, okay. Sweet little dodge.
Stand down. Soldier, I've been bit. Get this giant tooth off of me.
I can't
You
lift
bit.
that tooth.
There's a door up there. We just need to make some sort of ladder or stairs out of here. Soldier, explode.
Whoa.
Fine.
Oh.
Great
And then-
job following orders, Private. You go on ahead.
Cool.
I'll take up the rear guard.
Picking up some real Returnal
Lots of
vibes.
figments of Lobato's imagination in here.
When you see a figment,
Wait.
suck it up, soldier.
Figments of the imagination are littered all over the mental worlds. Your rank will increase for every 100 you collect. Okay, so there's pickups. And I just found one. And it said there's a little bit of UX that appeared, a little bit of UI that appeared in 99 to level up. There's only 80 in this level. Are these, this is what I'm looking for? Yeah, okay. Wow, they're quite subtle then. So you're picking up stamps, I guess? There's some sort of collectible. And the UI is always on the screen. Is it always on the screen, or does it fade away after a little bit of time? No, it just stays there. It's just static, which is interesting. Like, there's no, why show you it?
Do it myself.
Like, it's always interesting to kind of see when UI does that, right? Like your health bar, your ammo count, or whatever else. Like usually, what UI does. Destiny 2 is a good example where your health bar recharges. So when your health is full, the health bar. Oh, okay, yeah. So finally, it eventually does go away. Yeah, okay. Oh no, I'm gonna do this.
That dental door. Good job, soldier.
What's that light?
Uh-oh. Zip it back up again. Zip it.
There. Now that your cap is clean, let's check out those choppers. If I didn't know better, I'd swear that
What is going on? So I thought we were following him, but we're.
no problem. I'm sure I can do this in the dark.
Oh god, nightmare.
Coach, this room is definitely not in Sasha's plan. In fact, I think it's a trap.
No.
That's just a sensor. Everybody has those. Live in your mind and stamp out things that don't belong.
Like us?
You handle this one. I'll find a way out.
Interesting. So enemies are designed based on concepts of mental health, or just concepts of, you know, sort of like things you might find in like ways of thinking, like thoughts. And since he's based on censorship, he's got this little sort of like stamp things that I just want to see how he works as well.
No.
So super clear attack telegraph. You've got a couple of different phases of animation going on here, right? You've got the pursuit. Whoa. Okay, what's this? Brains represent the strength of Raz's connection to the mental world. when mental energy is depleted, he will be reset to his last mental checkpoint. Okay, so health. See, I've got a couple of different phases here of the animation. You've got the pursuit. Oh, I have to dodge. Okay, cool. Then you've got your attack telegraph, which is super long, gives you lots of time to dodge. Well, should give you a lot of time to dodge. And you can see there he sort of lunges forward ever so slightly as well when he attacks. Because otherwise, odds are he'd probably miss you a lot of the time. Because you're moving. Okay, and then we've got the little health bar here for the enemy, which appears only once they've taken a little bit of damage. And we get the damage chunks as well. Pretty standard UX. Okay, let's just finish this. Okay, and enemies drop health. Whoa. It looks as well like enemies can attack even when you're hitting them, so it doesn't look like enemies are attack cancelled by your hits. Like a lot of this episode is just gonna be me like observing things. Like it takes a few episodes before, you know, we can start sort of breaking down rationale for anything like that. Like I said at the start of the episode, this is a Let's Deconstruct, so it's a new kind of series that I'm running on the channel where I go and play a game completely blind, and we'll do a few different episodes on it over the next kind of coming weeks. Which is different from the episodes you'll also find on the channel, which is the one we recently did on Doom Eternal, which is a deep dive, which is a far more kind of like in-depth, thorough analysis of a game's design. Okay, so what do? Do I do this thing? Yeah.
Hey, see what you can find that way. See you on the other side.
Sticker. And it probably goes without saying, but I'm going to go ahead and say it anyway. So things like collectibles and stuff are great for platformers. Platformers in particular, because it encourages players to try and test it. Well, one, to explore the environment more. Like, you know, there's a lot of work and effort that goes into designing environments like this. And it's a big part of the game, especially for a platformer, which is all about moving around the environment in interesting and enjoyable ways. And collectibles give players a reason to do that. An incentive, a motivation, which a lot of the time is needed. And expected. Or maybe it's needed because it's expected. What is this? Do I use this? What is this?
Yes, got the duffel bag tag.
Emotional baggage tag. Reunite this tag with its companion. Oh, okay. Yeah, we can do that. Amazing. Tagged duffel bag. What does that mean? What does that do? Who knows? Okay, I think we're all done here. Oh, these tankards drop health. Okay. Again, probably stating the obvious, but light a lot of the time is used to kind of draw the player's attention to certain things in games. So strong light sources tend to offer a fair amount of strong UX. And this color is obviously color coordinated to the health. Oh, okay, I'm full there. Let's just check this out. Memory vault. Some minds try to protect themselves by... I can only see the C-K-I-N-G of this word. The rest is blocked by the Twitch feed, so I don't know what that word says. It could be anything, but it ends in C-K-I-N-G. Locking memories away in vaults. Chase them down and bust them open to reveal the repressed memories inside. Okay. No problem.
Hey, that's one of Dr. Lobato's vaults. I should try to catch it. Could be high-value insights.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's like one of these, oh, I forget what they're called. You know what they're called. Those things that you play when you're when you're a kid. It does feel like you'd want to move just a little bit faster. I'm not gonna lie, like the speed at which you run is a little bit frustrating. It feels a little bit kind of hampering.
Looks like
Maybe that's just me.
Conference room in here.
Rasputin, is that you? I need...
I'm coming, Sasha.
Rasputin.
Oh,
Careful.
emotional baggage.
Ah, here's the hatbox tag.
A trap. It's a trap. Lobato has...
Whoa.
Someone
Press
is
RB
helping
to
him.
blast
He
concentrated
couldn't
beams of psychic energy from your head with Psyblast.
Please, let's get clear of this.
Okay, so you've got two different
How
moves.
is
Cool.
Lovato breaking through the office construct?
He couldn't be doing this on his own. He must be getting help from someone even more sinister. Get ready, Rasputin.
Can I just do that? Okay, right.
Rasputin, that is not
Oh.
providing any new signs.
I can just pick this guy up?
Keep moving forward, Rasputin.
Sasha!
I've got the situation.
Oh, that's a bad
under
way to go.
control. Just find us a way out of here, quickly.
Yeah, don't bother with them little mooks. You want to go for the gold. You gotta grab the big boys. Help me carry this one, will you, Frankie?
This is like some sort of fever dream. This is completely surreal.
I can't believe they got me too, Frankie. The mooks.
Good, I guess. So yeah, you're given two moves. You've got this RT thing, which is your psychic move. I don't quite understand what the colors mean around it. And then RB is this sort of shot, the direction of which is influenced by the direction of your camera. There's no lock-on so far from what I've seen either, and the colors around it mean the number of shots you've got. So you've got 3. Okay, so those segments indicate ammo count. Can I... Oh. Are these the stickers that I pick up? Yeah, okay. So anything that looks like this is a sticker. Another reason that collectibles can be quite useful in platformers in particular, but in game design in general, is that it can also encourage replaying content. So it can help with continued engagement with the game, or more specifically, retention with the game.
Did you even brush before you came in here today? Honestly, it's a mess in there. Here.
What is happening? Are they both real?
It's out everything that doesn't belong.
Oh no, not back in the trap.
Trap?
Coach? Coach, where'd he go?
Oh, well, that's a good sign.
What is it?
That is a regret. If Lobato has regrets, then maybe there's a way we can still get to him.
I like it. It's a regret and it's weighing the enemy down. It's a weight.
Sasha? Are regrets dangerous?
Oh yes, extremely. Take care of that one, will you, while I find an exit.
Oh, okay, so we can lock on after all. And lock on is this little handy red arrow. That felt quite good. Like everything feels very responsive. Nothing feels kind of sluggish. Anybody help?
Good job, Rasputin. Unfortunately, I can't find a way out of here anywhere.
Sasha? How long has that golden door been there?
Golden what?
Did somebody say gold? Frankie, here's our chance for revenge.
Oh, not these guys.
I'll keep looking.
Watch out! Out again! I'm coming to see you, Ma!
Rasputin, you see what you can find through that door. I'm going to stay here and attempt to repair my construct.
They've clearly gone to a lot of effort to retain that sort of retro classic vibe and feel. Like you look at the UI, I mean, it's obviously very in keeping with the sort of general personality of the game, but I don't know, it looks and feels very kind of almost like Crash Bandicootish, I want to say, which is probably way off, but it kind of has that vibe to it to me. What is cool though is that they've added button prompts, so that's probably a little bit modernization there, right? Is showing what buttons are correlated with which different bits of functionality, which I don't think necessarily earlier games, like sort of 90s, always did all that well. I guess we go down here.
Oh, this is not getting.
Was that there before?
Raz! Is that you? Come down here!
Lily, I'm coming.
Super squishy sound when you step over this. What is also nice is this sticker system they've got running in the top right. It's not just showing me the number of stickers in the level, it's also giving me this sort of extra chase goal, which is I need X number of stickers to rank up. I don't know what that means, but it sounds good. So it's a nice nice bit of UX. The interesting enough isn't kept there. I wonder why. It only shows for a little bit of time. Like specifically that progress bar, not the numbers.
Still got that water phobia, huh?
It's not a phobia, it's a curse. Back in Grulovia, my whole family was cursed to die in water, and
Yeah, super sad. Look at these posters! I think someone else planted these in Lobato's mind to intimidate him.
and make sure he didn't tell us who hired him to kidnap your dad.
Let's get rid of them. Maybe it'll help. Help me burn these posters, Raz.
Okay, so there's an LB. Wow, they give you an awful lot of inputs. Okay. Whoa. And then, how do I use it?
Got more fire in your head
Oh,
than I
cool, okay.
realized, Raz. Burn 'em all.
You'd think they'd like give you like temporary fast recharging for this, just to clear this for the first time you use it.
About not recycling these, even though they're not
Like I have to wait every time I do it. Oh, okay.
Looks like you
So if
found
I got that
an
one
even
first, I
bigger
would have found it
I'm
quicker.
gonna catch up to Lobato.
Well, that's on me.
I'll catch up after I make sure these posters are all burnt.
In the rhombus.
Oh god, but if there's one with a secret wall behind it, there could be any of the secret walls behind it. Is
We're not
yours a
here to
secret
hurt
wall?
We just want to know
What happens
who
if I burn
hired you
hers?
to kidnap Truman Zanato.
Ah, fire! It hurts. Help me!
Lily,
Oh god. Instant regret. Oh, did that just sink? Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, nice little bit of UX there as well, just the platform sort of quivering and giving a kind of a gurgly sound. Oh, look, right here. Oh no! Oh. If we jump in this, what happens? Oh, interesting, nothing.
Phew. Yep.
Oh, okay, yeah, something. Oh, that's quite cool, actually. So it's kind of like what Mario does with its lava. It gives you a couple of times to get your butt burned before it decides to take it out on you, which is a little bit more lenient, I guess. Kind of helps a broader audience play the game. It's not like Crash Bandicoot, where if you fall in a pit, that is you dead. I thought that was going to be a fake wall.
Sounds like there's some emotional baggage nearby. I should try to get that.
That's
sorted.
good, because we got a tag. Everyone has emotional baggage that needs to be sorted. Ain't that the truth? You can help out by finding this bag's lost tag. Every 5 you reunite will grant a rank. So there's a lot of stuff tying into this rank business, but I still don't understand why I'm supposed to care about it. tagged Hatbox. Cool. Okay. So if you just tuned in, well, I'll start that again. If you've just tuned in, welcome to Game Design Live. This is our first episode on a Let's Deconstruct of Psychonauts 2. I'm going to be playing this over the next kind of coming weeks on various episodes throughout the week. Wednesdays will be kept reserved for, on occasion, for deep dive episodes. We've got a mini deep dive episode coming up this Wednesday, the second part of our previous deep dive on Doom Eternal. If you haven't checked it out, you can check it out on the channel. There's also a bunch of other content on the YouTube channel, which you can check out via the Twitch channel. And there's also more content you can check out on the Twitter channel, which is also linked from Twitch, where I source a bunch of gaming-related news and articles and design theory, that kind of stuff, if that's what you're into. So if you are into that kind of thing, then do please check out. And if you're enjoying the content, please do give the channel a follow. We are very close now to 50 followers on the channel, which would be really quite incredible. I think we're 3 away now. Oh no.
Was that you screaming? Or me? Doesn't matter. Listen, we all have our doubts and regrets. But it's too late to turn back now. Understand? What we have to do now...
Oh, this is just a nightmare. I don't know if anybody else has like real things about the dentist, but this is horrific. No one told me this is a horror game.
Lily, I think Lobato is starting to have doubts.
Duh, they're right over there.
Of course.
Luckily, they're highly flammable. You take care of them while I find a way out, okay?
So cool. So not only are they are their visual designs based on these sort of mental concepts, but also their functionality is based on those concepts. So it's all tied together. So these things hold you back. So yeah, these things actually slow you down and encumber you. Really cool. Which is quite clever design in a sense, because it creates a slightly clearer set of expectations over what the enemy does. Maybe. Wow. You know what? Yeah, that's more effective. Oh boy. Psypop. This brain candy will restore some of your mental energy. I don't want to use my Psypop. There is actually a fair amount to the combat. Like, it feels quite, like, I do like the way the enemies are designed. So we talked about this actually in the previous episode on Doom Eternal, right? This is a great example, albeit in a far less intense game. Oh. Titanium. Titanium is a psycho-reactive material used by Psychonauts as currency. Save it up to buy something useful later. Okay, so we have currency as well. Of course we do. But yeah, in the last episode on Doom Eternal, we talked about orthogonal unit differentiation, which is a mouthful. But the idea is basically that enemies have sort of consistent, discernible, highly unique identifying behaviors and visual designs. So enemies aren't just sort of like more or less powerful versions of the one enemy, which you might see maybe in other games, specifically sort of like first-person shooters. Maybe early Call of Duty games are a good example of that. Whereas here, these are very orthogonally differentiated in the sense that they all work in a very distinct way, which can really help make some more sort of like complex combat puzzles as a result, but we'll see how the combat evolves as we play.
That does it. I'm burning this guy.
Wait, wait! I'll tell you.
Yes?
The person who hired me
Yes?
was no one. No one hired me because I didn't do anything.
Oh, brother.
Well, not on purpose, at least. It was an accident.
You've got to be kidding me.
Your father got lost and ended up in the rhombus of ruin on accident.
While they're talking, I'm just going to get some health.
Well, we waited for you to come save him. Carry more. Do your worst.
Maybe we could get some information from Lobato here.
This flimsy projection is worthless.
Hey!
I say we burn them all until we find one who tells us who hired him to kidnap
She is
my
vicious.
Oh no, you don't.
I think I just did.
Mia?
Yes, darling?
Nothing.
Did you forget everything I taught you about levitation, Rasputin?
No. Your thoughts can lift you up if you focus.
Better hurry before we hit the ground.
Okay.
Go? Woo-hoo. Now let's get out of here. Lobato needs our help.
Yes.
Ah, nice.
Help Lobato.
Someone really did a number on that poor thing. I think he wants to tell us who hired him. He's terrified. Let's find him and help him.
Oh no. Oh, is this cracking as I step on it? No. Okay. Oh, there's a lot of secrets in this area. I'm getting real FOMO right now.
Don't forget to float, darling.
If I just do this? Well, okay. Nope, not that. Okay, so you lose a little bit of health when you die as well. Interesting. Oh, come on, I grabbed the ledge. Okay, one more time.
First tag.
Of interest, does this just stay? Okay, so as long as you're being hit by wind, it stays active. I didn't grab those things, but we'll leave them for now. What's also quite cool is the way that these enemies are designed to clearly be susceptible to a certain attack. So unlike the sensor enemies, which are quite quick and they close the distance with you quite quickly, quite fast, these guys are extremely sluggish and slow, with the intention of slowing you down as well. They actually lunge quite a distance though. It doesn't always feel like they should hit you. Can I get two in there? It's quite a nice touch. They panic as well, so oh wow, and also their purple stuff catches fire. That's interesting. The cool thing about little interactions like that is that it can develop into what's known as emergent design. So emergent design is when events play out in a game in unforeseen or unexpected ways because of what the player does or the mechanics they're offered. So a really good example of that would be something like Breath of the Wild, where you still get players that do absolutely insane stuff in that game with the mechanics that they're given, you know, and whether it's combat or traversing the world, because things can be combined in such a wide array of ways. Yeah, that's quite cool. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out in combat and in general. Oh. And also from a combat perspective, like, it's quite nice having that option to be a little bit more tactical, if you want.
Mia, the mission is falling apart. We've lost control of Lobato.
There's a little chaos on every mission, Raz. A Psychonaut must always remember how to roll with it. You remember how to gather your thoughts and roll with them, right?
Okay. Not allowed to pick them up, but alright. Oh. Cool. So you do get a sprint. Ah, so much better. Whoa, okay. That's what I get for getting too carried away and running off on a ball. Okay, yep. Oh. This does not feel very intuitive. Do I have to just jump when I'm rolling? Try that again. Oh, okay, so I just jump when I'm rolling and that does the job for me.
This is not my kind of party!
Leon coming!
Pretty cool level design though, like, other than the fact that I keep dying, but that's again on me. But cool level design in the sense that it taught me quite quickly how the mechanic works. What's also interesting is the jump when you're using this orb. Oh, I'm just on the orb. Oh, so it's not even a press and hold, I just press it once and I'm in this mode. Cool.
I think she's been dementostrated. Sasha?
But yeah, what's cool is that the jump still works like a Mario jump. So you've still got that strength of jump depending on how long you press and hold the button.
I think I'm the last one still in here.
Psy-pop time.
There's the mental energy.
Nice as well, that was cool. So rather than just have the player press the button to use it, there's a press and hold, which I guess is quite good in case you want to help the player avoid accidental presses for what might be a valuable commodity. Can I just... Ooh. I really hope anyone watching this doesn't have a thing about teeth. This is a bad episode otherwise. Oh, oh wow, that's a lot. Wow, these guys are really tough. What? Oh no, oh no.
I put the old box in the back and the egg in the ocean. I put the box
Just...
in the back.
No, come here.
No, that's not it.
Oh, I can't leave that.
Egg in the box and the... No, no. I took the box. No, box. No. I put the old box in the basket and the egg in the ocean. I put the box in the basket and the basket in the ocean. No, that's not it.
I have heard this, sort of like a side note, I have heard this effect you're seeing where, like, you know, you pick up a thing in the world and it flies off into the corresponding UI. In the industry, I've heard that referred to as a doober. I have no idea if that is the industry-wide term or not, but a little fast fact, that's what we've called it, at least in my experience in the past, is a doober.
The egg in the box and the box in the basket and the basket in the ocean.
Is this guy okay?
No, no, that's not it. Put
Nope.
the old box in the basket and the egg in the ocean.
You put the egg in the basket, and the old egg in the box, and the box in the ocean.
Simple.
And if you tell anyone about me, anyone at all, you'll have to deal with her.
No, not her. Please don't make me look at her again. No, no, I won't tell. I won't tell anyone. I promise. No, please.
Guys, this just got serious. There's a her.
No, not her. I won't tell.
Okay, so the entire thing was a simulation.
Booby-trapped.
Yes, whoever hired Lobato to kidnap Truman knew he might be psychically interrogated.
The poor thing looks terrified.
Did anyone get a good look at his boss?
I saw him, but I couldn't tell who he was. And I saw something else. I saw the thing that terrified Lobato. It was a woman, dressed in black fur. She was floating over the ruins of a city, and she was commanding serpents of water. There was something familiar about her.
Rasputin, I'm going to show you a picture.
That's her! Wait a second. I thought I recognized her. True Psychic Tales, issue 43. She's on the cover.
Of course.
Maligula.
The Deluge of Grulovia.
Maligula? She's been dead for 20 years!
Ford Crawler killed her himself!
A battle from which he never truly recovered.
She was a monster, a ruthless, power-hungry psychic who drowned hundreds of her own countrymen. Nevertheless, she still has her loyal followers to this day. This file documents recent activity believed to be the work of these modern-day delusionaries.
What are they up to?
Well, it's ridiculous, really. There's no scientific basis to necromancy.
What?
They're trying to bring her back to life?
It's silly, darling, but if they believe they can do it, they might do some dangerous things.
Mia, have you considered the other disturbing fact in all of this? That unstable character.
Could never kidnap the grand head of the Psychonauts without help? Yes.
You mean...
There's a mole in the Psychonauts.
If you think this is a mole, you're dumber than you look.
Approaching the mother lobe.
The mother lobe.
Agent Forsyth, why did you deny us intel when we hailed the Mother Lobe?
What are you talking about, Agent 9?
We
I love how he can say that with a straight face.
The grand head of the Psychonauts. When we called for assistance...
I never heard any call. Who did you talk to? Is he all right?
We won't know for sure until
He's
we get
anything
that
but all
squirrel
right.
tested for rabies.
This is our kidnapper.
Clearly, he had help on the inside.
Impossible. A mole in the Psychonauts?
We have reason to believe delusionists are involved. And they're trying to bring back Maligula.
What?
I know. Isn't it great? The Psychonauts haven't had this kind of a threat in years.
Can someone help me with my dad? He's still acting funny.
Truman!
Let's get him inside so he can lie down.
I'll see what I can
So a lot of
find out
story
from
and
the
setup in this episode. Maybe in the next episode things will kind of like take us a little bit more off the rails and we can start engaging with the game a little bit more and finding out a bit more about what it involves.
Does that make anyone else a little nervous?
Who are you?
I'm Raz. Rasputin? I'm, your newest Psychonaut?
How's that?
Ford Crawler, he gave me a badge. I've been kinda helping out.
Listen, kid. Agent Crawler is a hero. But he's not operating at 100%. He can hand out all the merit badges he wants, but he doesn't have the authority to commission Psychonauts.
But you can, right? You're Hollis Forsyth, lesser head of the Psychonauts? True Psychic Tales 146. You and Truman fought the Noodler together.
I prefer the title Second Head. If the other agents vouch for you, I might be able to get you a spot in the intern program. But don't be late for orientation.
Gutted.
I hear the coordinator's a real brainbuster. Welcome to the Mother Lobe.
Employee of the Year! Oh yeah! Okay, let's see what we can smash. Can we talk to this person?
Hey, is it okay if I go up into the main headquarters now?
I'm sorry, little boy, but there just aren't any school tours today.
What? I'm an intern. Agent Forsyth gave me this.
Really? Let's check your head in the fingerprint reader, please. Well, I'll be doused. Welcome to the intern program. Let me get you your orientation materials.
Okay, welcome to the big old chunk of text. Welcome to the intern program. This field manual will act as your guide through the world of Psychonauts. Your progress is tracked here along with information you gather on your journey to becoming a junior Psychonaut. When in doubt, press that button to consult your manual. Cool. Okay. Intern profile. Your internship progress is tracked on this page. Intern rank is key to unlocking new psychic abilities. Oh, so that's why rank is important. Okay. Increase your rank by finding side challenge cards and markers in the real world or nuggets of wisdom in mines.
Wow. That picture really captures my startled side.
Okay. There's a bunch of unique items to get. Oh wow, there's see, we've talked about these before. These are usually referred to as onboarding Fatui slides. So sort of scripted images with text that can usually be localized. It depends how different developers do it. Like some developers have just the entire thing as an image, but the problem with that is the text is baked into the image, so you can't localize the text. Therefore, you can't sort of like offer it easily, unless you have like different images for different languages. But then obviously your storage size goes up a little bit, which isn't as big a deal on console games. Anyway, side powers. This section of your manual tracks the progress of any side powers you are authorized to use while in the intern program. As your rank increases, you will earn intern credit, which you can spend here for side power upgrades. Use of unauthorized powers is strictly prohibited. But are there unauthorized powers that we can get access to? We'll find out. Oh, I love the sticker style. That's really cool.
Interesting.
It's got a kind of like a Bioshocky vibe to it. Not sure why. Okay, so melee. Oh, interesting. So everything seems to have an upgrade tree to it. So my melee can be upgraded, telekinesis, Psyblast. But to do that, we need intern credit, and I'm not too sure how we earn that. That's not clear. Oh, wow, there's more. I think I'm just locked into this. Area survey. As a Psychonaut, it is important to always be aware of your surroundings. This section of the manual tracks your exploration in both the physical and mental worlds. Am I just locked into this? Yeah, you're literally locked in. You have to go through this, which is quite scripted. But I mean, it's one way to make sure the player understands what they're doing. The mission log tracks any official Psychonauts missions you undertake as part of the intern program. Consult this section for... Okay, yep. And close. There, okay. Now we're done with reading. Now we can get back to playing. So we can open it this way. We can check it out. Not too sure yet how these... Oh yeah, so it's stars. But yeah, I'm not sure how you get stars. It must be to do with rank, I guess, right? Rank award stars?
Scanning for fingerprint. Access granted.
Wow! I can't believe I'm really here! Psychonauts headquarters!
But so far, really impressed with the combat. The story is also well told. Like, I feel invested. I want to find out what's going on, which is a rarity. Like, a lot of the time in games, I'll tend to skip through story just to get into the action. But here, like the world they've built, the characters, maybe the voice acting has a big part to do with it. The bizarreness of the world, like you're immediately trying to figure out what the hell's going on from the get-go, and slowly but surely it starts to tell you what the hell's going on. Is that working now? Okay, for some reason, I don't know what's happened here. Yeah, I have no idea what happened there, but both my controllers freaked out, and my headset decided to freak out, everything decided to freak out, and now I'm stuck in this corner with no way to control it whatsoever, so I'm guessing it's some sort of bug. So I'm probably going to just go ahead and end the episode 4 minutes early. Which is fine, because hopefully, you know, the next episode we'll get into the guts of the game a bit more and we can find out a little bit more about what's going on and deconstruct a few more bits and pieces. But yeah, as I was saying before my controller rebelled, I'm interested in it so far. I think the combat is quite interesting in the sense that it's very responsive, and as a result quite approachable. The button inputs are a few more than I expected, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. That can really help, if anything,